Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're not just talking about tactics. We are literally unlocking a vault of elite strategies. And look, this isn't about small tweaks or tiny improvements. No, this is about a complete fundamental shift, a whole new way of thinking about how value is created, how it's communicated, and, how you get compensated for it. Okay, so this quote right here, this is basically the foundation for everything we're about to talk about. It really governs all the strategies that follow. Think about it. The goal isn't to spend your time trying to convince people of your worth. It's to make your value so obvious, so visible, that you never have to explain it in the first place. So forget what you know about invoices, about hourly rates. There's a totally different currency at play here. And that is the key to a world where you command value. You don't just ask for it. We're stepping away from the usual back and forth and into a much quieter, way more powerful way of operating. All right, let's unlock that first chamber. All right, first up, the black card mindset. This is the foundation, the core of everything. It's all about something called the payment first protocol. And honestly, this is the gatekeeper for every single strategy we're going to cover today. So what is the payment first protocol? Well, it's a non-negotiable rule. Full payment upfront. It acts as a power lock, right? It's a test of how serious someone is. The principle is super simple, but you can't bend on it. Respect is shown by paying now, not later. The second you let someone pay after, you're basically saying your standards are flexible, and that opens the door to all kinds of disrespect. This isn't just about getting the money, it's about setting the tone and establishing your authority from the get-go. I love this because it perfectly reframes the whole idea of payment. It's not just a transaction, not just handing over cash. It's the key. It's the proof that the other person is aligned with you, that they're serious, that they respect what you bring to the table. And without that key, well, the lock doesn't turn. The door stays shut. Simple as that. And to make this protocol work, you've got these, let's call them power tools. These aren't just suggestions. They're your defense system. You've got the no exceptions clause. That's your script to shut down any debate. Then there's the invisible wallet test. That's for you. To ask yourself, hey, does this person who's hesitating actually deserve my energy? The energetic paywall is simple. No access before payment, period. And finally, the refund resistance code, it creates that psychological finality. It closes the door on any second guessing.
Okay, let's move on to our first big strategy. This one's called silent billing, and it's all about the art of getting paid without ever having to ask. Seriously, this is how you take billing from something you have to chase down to a quiet, automated system that just works.
So what exactly is the silent billing method? It's a system where adjustments are pre-agreed upon and then billed automatically. It's all based on policy, not debate. You know all those awkward conversations about going over time or last-minute changes? This method just eliminates them. It's not an argument, it's just a documented procedure. It keeps everything quiet, professional, and totally non-confrontational. And here's how it actually works. The real magic is that all of this is built into the initial agreement. So you can see here things like an overage rate. You go over the time, it bills at a premium. An after-hours multiplier for late-night stuff. A fee for a last-minute change of venue. None of these are surprises. They're just part of the policy from day one, and they only show up, quietly, on the final receipt. You see how this stays silent? It's a simple three-step process. 1. You embed the policy in the agreement. 2. The final receipt just calmly reflects what happened. And 3. Debate is eliminated. There's nothing to argue about because it's just the documentation of what was already agreed to. It's the policy in action. That's it. Now, for silent billing to really work, you have to adopt this mindset. My experience is measured in time, not tasks. This is a huge shift. You're not selling a checklist of things you're going to do. You're selling an experience, and that experience includes all of your time, every single moment. Okay, get ready because this next strategy is on a whole other level. We're moving beyond pricing entirely. This is called the unchargeable frame, and it's all about when your presence itself becomes the product. Just think about that for a second. What if your presence was the product? This one question just forces you to rethink everything. You're no longer selling a service, you're not selling an hour of your time, you're selling access to you, to your energy, your insight, your vibe. And when that's the product, believe me, the whole conversation about price completely changes. So the unchargeable frame is the art of building up so much aura, so much legend around you, that when a price is finally mentioned, it feels like a privilege just to hear it.
your value stops being a conversation starter and instead becomes a gatekeeping tool. And look, this isn't about being arrogant or out of reach. It's about positioning access to you as the ultimate luxury item. The question shifts from how much is it to am I even worthy of this?
And this comparison just nails the difference. The old way says always have a price ready. But that just makes you a commodity, right? Something on a shelf waiting to be bought. The elite way says price is the final reward, not the first expectation. See the difference? That positions you as a prize to be won. It's a total shift from being transactional to being aspirational. This says it all right here. This isn't about time, it's about access. That's the whole philosophy in one sentence. It's the ultimate reframe, because think about it. When you sell your time, there's always a limit, there's a ceiling. But when you start selling access, suddenly you're playing in a whole different league of value. All right, for our final key from the vault, we're talking about maybe the most powerful currency there is, scarcity. Especially today, in a world where everyone is always available online, being unavailable, if you do it right, is the ultimate power move. And this is what we call the scarcity aura. It's the strategic control of your availability, both online and in the real world. Why? To crank up your perceived value and demand. It's about making your absence feel like a deliberate choice, and your presence feel like something that has to be earned. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about disciplined, intentional management of your own visibility. So you have to constantly check in with yourself. The source materials suggest a kind of monthly audit. Look at this chart. Where do you fall? Are you overexposed? Answering every message in 2 seconds, always available? That just dilutes your value. Are you balanced? That's okay. Your value is maintained. Or are you scarce? That's where your value actually gets multiplied. It's a serious question to ask yourself. And this is probably the most important point about scarcity. It has to be real. It's about discipline, not deception. If you're out there saying you're booked for months, but then you're replying to DMs instantly, the whole illusion just shatters. People see right through it. Your aura has to come from genuine discipline. You can't fake it. And this is the end game. This is the goal of mastering your scarcity aura. Your absence is an event, your return a festival. Think about that. Your presence is no longer just expected. It becomes a special occasion, something people look forward to, precisely because it doesn't happen all the time. So there you have it. The keys to the vault are on the table. The question really isn't what do you charge anymore. The real question is, what are you worth? When you start to reframe your value around these ideas, access, silence, and scarcity, you're not just playing by the market's rules anymore. You're making your own. These strategies, they're not just about money. They're about completely redefining your power. The vault is open. Now, what are you going to do?